Hi, my name is Lee Matthews. I'm one of the physiotherapists that work at Queen's Hospital. I'm going to guide you through a gentle series of reconditioning exercises that you can do sat in a chair. Some of these might be things you've seen already, some of them might be new to you. These are based upon a series of exercises called the Back to Fitness exercises, and they were designed by a lady called Klaber Moffett. I think it was back in the 80s or 90s. They were fine, but a lot of people struggle to get on and off of the floor. A lot of people don't even like doing exercise and standing because it provokes the symptoms quite a lot. So I've adapted that series of exercises, and I'm aiming to do a couple of videos. This is the chair-based version, but I've also got a version which mainly in standing with some sitting exercises. So if you want to start gentle, start with these. And if you find that it's okay, you can always progress onto the other video at a later date. But I'd much rather you were doing a small amount of exercise that on often. So this is 10 exercises, each of them for 1 minute. And you might actually start just by doing 30 seconds or 45 seconds or a minute. I'll aim to count you in and count you out during each of these 1 minute intervals that I do. So you might only do the first half of it and then stop and wait for the next exercise. And that's absolutely fine. So work to your own capacity, work to your own individual needs, and it might be doing more on one side, but hopefully through doing these little and often alongside your stretches, it will help to build up your exercise tolerance. So first of all, marching and seated. So sit yourself in a chair, nice and comfortable. Maybe bring your bottom towards the front of that chair. And what we're going to practice doing is marching on the spot now. So that's it. Bringing your legs up in front of you, nice comfortable pace. So this is kind of a cardio exercise. It's getting those leg muscles working, but it's also getting us working our heart and lungs as well. And we're nearly at the half-minute point. There you go, that's 30 seconds. So if you find this easy, you can actually get the arms in on the act as well. So that's it, keep on going, but you could even use the arms through the whole minute if you want to. That's it, we're nearly there. And that's your 45-second count as well. So if you're only doing the 45 seconds, you can stop now. The rest of you keep on going, either with or without those arms being used. Almost there. And that's your 4 minute, well done. So number 2 is seated knee extension. So let's stay sat in that chair, and what we're going to do, we're going to bring one leg up in front of us and hold it nice and straight, and then do the same on the other side. So as you're doing this, you're tensing up that muscle in the front of the thigh, using that to straighten the knee, and that's your quads muscles there that you're going to get stronger from doing this. So bring the leg up and hold and relax. You could even make this harder by having ankle weights on or similar. There you go, and that's your 30-second mark. The rest of you keep on going, working those muscles on the front of your thigh. And there's your 45-second mark. The rest of you keep on going, and we'll get to that minute soon. Just a few more seconds left. And relax, well done. So the next one is sidestepping. So this time we're going to be with our chair, but this time with a table in front of you as well. And what I want you to do for me is 2 steps one side and then 2 steps the other. So you find a pace that's good for you. So if this is easy, you can just have the table nearby, but if you're struggling, it might even be you hold onto the table as you go in there. And again, you go as far as you can with the steps that's comfortable for you. It might only be small steps you take, it might be bigger ones. And my pelvis stays nice and level as I'm stepping there. There you go. So that's the 30-second mark. And if you find that's easy, you could even get the arms in on the act as well. So this is a nice exercise for strengthening around the hip. And it also is a cardiovascular exercise as well. And there you go, there's your 45-second mark. Nearly there for the 4 minute. Keep on going, keep on going. And that's your minute, guys. Well done. So we're going to get back in the chair again now, and I want you to bring yourselves to your bottoms on the front of the chair, and you're going to have those arms resting on the armrests. So let's push down through the armrests and then relax again. So we push down, resisting through the arms there. So I'm not quite lifting my bottom out of the chair, but I'm pushing down to strengthen those muscles around the shoulder and around the arm. This is a really good one for strengthening the top and the back of the arm there. And that's your 30-second mark. Keep on going, the rest of you. And there's the 45-second mark, but keep on going. You're nearly there for the full minute. If you can do the full minute, you're doing brilliantly. And relax. Well done, guys. So the next exercise is standing in front of a table, and I'm going to bring one leg out to the side. We'll do one side and then we'll do the other. So there you go. So we'll do one leg first and we'll just focus on that side. So I'm going to do 30 seconds if you can do the whole minute, but I'm going to count you out at 20 otherwise. So it's nearly 20 seconds there. That's it. So stop if you're only doing the smaller amounts. The rest of you keep on going. And then swap over to the other side. That's it. And notice throughout this exercise that the belt line stays completely level. We're just doing that movement from around the hip joint. And you should feel this on the outside of the hip when you're doing it. And that's the 20-second mark. So if you're only doing the small amount, then stop there. The rest of you keep on going. There you go, well done. So what we're going to do now is bring in alternate legs out behind us. So we're going to stay in front of that table, and this time you could even lean forwards on the table if you want to. We're going to bring one leg out behind us, and then the other leg out. So the last exercise strengthens the outside of the bottom area, and this is really strengthening the glutes. That's it, bringing one leg out behind you, and then the other. Keep on going. And that's the 30-second point, so you might stop there. The rest of you though, keep on going, you're doing well. And there's your 45-second point. And the rest of you keep on going, almost at that full minute. So again, you could use resistance around the ankle if you wanted to make this harder still. There you go, and that's your full minute, well done. So the next one we're going to do is, in seated, bringing the elbow to the opposite knee. So get back in the chair again, and we're going to bring one elbow to the opposite knee. There you go. That's it. And this is kind of a trunk rotation and a hip movement, but it's also strengthening some of those oblique muscles in our tummy. There you go. So it's a slight exercise in coordination going on here as well. That's your 30 seconds, guys. If you're only doing the 30 seconds, stop there. The rest of you, keep on going. And there's the 45-second point. Hopefully you can feel this in some of your tummy muscles as you're doing it. And there you go, that's a full minute. So stay in the chair, and I want your bottom relatively close to the edge of the chair, towards the front of the chair, and you're going to do a little slouch And then you're going to sit up like a sergeant major. That's it, so you slouch, and then up nice and tall there. Slouch, and then up nice and tall. And again, you find the intensity that's right for you. You might only do a little one of these if it's not particularly comfortable. And it might be you go at a different speed to me, but that's it, you're doing that slouch, and that's your 30-second mark. You're doing well. Keep on going. And there's the 45 seconds. Hang on there, the rest of you. You're nearly at the full minute. And there you go. And that's your minute. So number 9 is a sit-up in the chair. So sit with your bottom at the front of the chair again. And this time we're going to sit up nice and tall. And we're going to move back. We're going to rock back on those sitting bones. And as you go back, you'll feel those tummy muscles start to engage. And then back up nice and tall again. So again, rocking back on those sitting bones. And then up nice and tall. So I'm sliding my hands along the front of the thighs as I go there. That's the easier version of this. Nearly at the half-minute point. There you go. That's 30 seconds, guys. You can stop there. Keep on going, and hopefully you can feel those tummy muscles working. And we're almost at the 45-second point. There you go, that's your 45 seconds. And the rest of you keep on going for the full minute. And the whole time we're doing this, notice my back stays nice and straight throughout. So the last exercise is the alternate arm lift. So again, sitting in your chair, what we're going to do this time is reaching up with one arm and then the other. That's it. So it could be a little lift, it might be a big one. There you go. So reaching up and stretching, and then the same on the other side. So you can make this harder by holding a can of baked beans in each hand if you wanted to, but we'll keep it gentle at the moment. And there's your 30 seconds, guys, so keep on going, the rest of you. Nearly at 45. And that's the easier version of it there. Can you see he's bent his elbows, so he's got a shortened lever length. And there's your 45 seconds, so you can stop there. So if you were really struggling on one side with your shoulder, you might even just bend the elbow on one side, like I did a moment ago. For the rest of you though, keep on going with those arms nice and tall. And there you go, that's your full minute. Well done, guys. Hopefully you managed those okay. I'd say try and do any exercise that you choose little and often. So today's session we set out some gentle exercises at increments of 30, 45 and 60 seconds. If you found some of them particularly difficult, it might be the next time you do slightly less. But if you found some of the exercises quite easy, you might choose to do slightly more of them. So pick an intensity that's right for you, and you'll also find that when you're doing it, you find your own pace. So for me, I was doing some of them quite quickly perhaps, and I'd say that if you did it at half of that pace, that's absolutely fine. With all of these things, you're the boss in it. It's about making sure that it's the right exercise and it doesn't irritate you too much. And I'd much rather that whatever exercise you do, whether it's yoga, tai chi, swimming, going for a walk each day, that you do a little and often approach. I'd much rather know that you did these or went for a walk each day and just did a few minutes than doing a big long walk or a big session of exercise that then leaves you sore for several days afterwards. You know, we're starting to work our muscles with exercise in ways that you might not have been used to. So it's normal to feel some soreness, but what we're not looking to do is leave you fit for nothing for several days there afterwards. Alongside these things, also think about maybe putting some music on while you're exercising. It's a lot more fun moving around and doing exercise when you're listening to some music with it. And when the lady who originally designed these set them out, what she'd also get people to do is once a week to count how many repetitions they did. So it might be that if you do the same intensity of exercise, aim to do them 2 or 3 times a week, and then maybe in a week's time you count how many repetitions you do, you might be surprised, and over time you find that even though you've stuck to doing that 30 seconds of one of those movements, that you've actually increased the amount that you can do in that time, that you've got a bit stronger. With any sort of fitness and with any sort of training, it takes time to consolidate it. It doesn't just happen overnight, especially with a long-term condition. So do these things regularly. Don't feel that every time you do them you've got to do more, but it might be that in a few weeks' time some of them get a little bit easier. And then maybe that's the time to start thinking of maybe doing another 15 seconds, or you might just add a little variation that adds a bit more intensity to the exercise. So again, you're the boss in all of this. So have a go with those things. Try and make it a gentle, kind form of exercise. These are quite good because they start to get your heart and lungs working. And also, the way that they were set out, it actually acknowledges the fact that it's not just that we've got back pain or we've got shoulder pain or neck pain. Actually, these are gentle reconditioning exercises that strengthen your entire body. You know, you're moving your arms, you're moving your legs, because when we're in pain, when we move less, all of those muscle groups get weak because that painful back, that painful neck, that's attached to a human body. And when we use our body less because we're in pain, we generally decondition. So there's lots of reasons for doing stretches, and also alongside that, with these exercises, what we've added is some gentle reconditioning work. You might have enjoyed these, you might not have done, in which case maybe have a look at doing some sort of yoga, Tai Chi or Pilates, but whatever you find, it needs to be something that's right for you. So hope today's been of some help, and if you find it was easy, don't forget there's a level 2 video that I've also recorded with slightly increased intensity of exercise in those. So take care guys, and see you soon.